On the Climate Watch tonight, we know our sea levels are rising, but we may be facing a threat from the water that we can't see, and that's groundwater.
Scientists are now actually looking for our help figuring out just how big of a threat this is. As WBZ meteorologist Jacob Wyckoff shows us, just a few minutes of your time could have a big impact on the future of our land.
I don't have to stand here and tell you it's been wet. We're coming off one of the wettest years on record and one of the wettest winters on record. And now we're in one of the wettest Marches to date. Each rain brings renewed flooding threats, and one UMass Amherst professor is trying to understand the state of our water table with some help from you at home.
It's become apparent in the last about 40 to 50 years that the water table has been kind of slowly rising.
David Boutt is a professor at UMass Amherst. He's part of a team that's investigating our rising groundwater levels.
And then we've been kind of digging into, what that means with respect to climate change, hydrological change here in the Northeast, and other kind of landscape and land use changes.
In 2023, it seemed like every other week there was a flooding concern. Flash flooding caused massive damage in Leominster and Attleboro, and statewide, plenty of homes were affected.
Calls from homeowners that are saying, I've never had water in my basement. I've got these flooding issues. I'm trying to understand what's going on, or I never had water in my basement, and now I do.
Massachusetts has a tremendous amount of hydrological data dating back into the 40s, but much of that data isn't where people live. That's where you come in.
We're trying to collect data that will help verify and validate predictive models that we're building, and try to understand the magnitude of the problem, and then trying to understand, biases or weaknesses, and model predictions.
In order to get an accurate portrayal of the problem, more data is needed. Boutt and his team are asking for your help. They've built a Google form for this survey where you can enter your own information.
It probably takes a few minutes out of your time to respond to. We asked a few questions just about, have you experienced, kind of wet conditions on your property or in your basement, which months of the year.
And extreme years like 2023 may be the new normal in the future. So your neighborhood data may help answer important questions.
If we expect precipitation to, let's say, maintain the same or increase into the future, how do we best invest in infrastructure projects that take into account those things?
Boutt tells WBZ that he's also very interested in seeing how rising sea levels contributes to rising water tables, something called saltwater intrusion, a dual threat for coastal communities. By the way, we do have a link to that survey on our website, WBZ.com. In the studio, meteorologist Jacob Wyckoff, WBZ News.